Hey everybody, and welcome back to Rathlin Island. We're now in mid-autumn. We're up here at the sheep farm, getting ready to harvest our wheat. Got our Kloss harvester up here. We already went and pulled our header up here, and already got our tipper ready. And I have to say, something that is really a refreshing sight on this map in particular is that all these fields have really good cutouts with respect to getting in and out of the fields. So I was easily able to pull the header trailer in here and get it positioned without damaging any crop, as you can see. Going to be able to go ahead and pull this trailer out of the way, again, without damaging any crop. And there's plenty of lots of maps out there seem to. This field would probably have run up all the way up here to this dirt area, and there would have been no way of getting this header in here between these two buildings without running over a whole bunch of crop. But we're able to get that accomplished with this particular map. Hold that. Get things started. And, well, let's back up. And get going this way because that's the side that our pipe is on. And after we left the other day, I went and figured out, let's turn on our straw. Went and figured out what the deal was with respect to the cultivator and the T7. So I know now why we had such issues with the T7 and that culti-plow. And that is because we did not have MR enabled on that particular tractor when we did the first set of plowing and cultivation. That particular tractor had not yet been converted to MR, and as such it was running, well, stock. And running stock, that tractor has absolutely no problem at all on that cultivator, because the idea of wheel slip is pretty limited with respect to the base game. You seem to only really have wheel slip if something is up against something. If a tractor's run up against a wall or something, do wheel slip. So I went and took MR out, and once I did that, then I was able to cultivate those fields without any issue. Got that accomplished last night. Just thought I would update you all so you knew what was going on. And some of you probably had already figured that out, and maybe had already put in the comments what was going on there. What we're going to do today is obviously harvest our wheat field here. We're going to run the harvester for a little bit, and then we're going to run the grain wagon a little bit. First thing I want to do is I want to kind of get this field opened up. Looking at the weather forecast, we have a few days of good weather here. No real chance of rain predicted, so we should be okay. Not have to worry too terribly much about getting this straw up off the field right away. Should be able to keep it on here for at least the night. In the event that this harvest takes all day, we'll have plenty of time then to get the straw up tomorrow. Let's go ahead and pull up the forecast. See, we got, actually, we don't have any rain predicted until the last day of autumn. Day 9 there. And then the first day of winter, we have snow. And now the second day of winter, we have rain predicted. So it's going to looks like it's going to be a wet autumn, or wet winter so far. But we do have a fair number of days here to get the wheat in, get the straw in, and probably get another cut of grass off of our grass fields. And if we do that, then I'm probably looking to make that into silage. I'm probably going to take that down to the BGA and put it in that second bunker. Simply because going through more silage than I had expected that we would go through. Like I said in the other video, go in cab here where it's a little quieter. As I said in the other video, when we were just doing hay at the BGA, it's typically about 2 to 3 bales I was adding every 12 hours. So 4 to 5 bales every day. So that is 8, 16, about 20,000 liters of product being added to the BGA every day. With the with adding silage to the BGA, the fermenter, we're going through about 20,000 liters every 12 hours. It was 20,000 liters every day, now it's 20,000 liters every 12 hours. It seems that it's chewing through silage and potatoes a lot faster than it was chewing through hay bales. We're going to need more silage than we were expecting based on our hay bale usage. I'd say this is the first time that I have used this harvester, and I'm not really sure what the HUD over there is supposed to be indicating. We have 56%. I saw it. Well, the workload is going up and down. Not really sure what that is kind of implying at all. Not really sure what 3.9. I guess that's how fast we're harvesting. We're going to be harvesting 3 hectares an hour. I don't know why it would be jumping around so much. And not really sure what the other. I guess the top is 0.3 hectares total. We've harvested 1/3 of a hectare already, and I guess we've harvested 1/3 of a hectare in our current harvesting session. I guess that's what that second column is. Not really sure what the other stuff is. Just have hide HUD, set hectare counter. We don't have a lot of information there. It's there. Pull our pipe out. Let's run over here and get our tipper. Jump the fence. So we are in pretty good shape to try to get our canola in the ground for the start of winter. So we got to still got to get our wheat up off the ground, or out of the field here. Got to get our straw off the field, and get another cut of grass off of our grass fields, hopefully. And then, if all is done before the start of winter, we will then be in a position to plant some canola. We kind of have to worry about our current crops before we do that. Harvester. So what do you guys think about that announcement I made the other day? The 10 years on Emerald Coast. Not heard too many people playing really long periods of years on seasons at this point. So I figured, what the hey, let's go ahead and give her a try and see how we do. I thought, what better map to give 10 years a try on than to try it on Emerald Coast, where we've got kind of we got two crops that are kind of long running crops, being poplar and sugarcane. Both of those crops will regrow. Poplar will regrow endlessly, if you will. It's kind of like grass. You plant it once and it will regrow after you harvest it. Now that's a feature of CCS 101's maps. That is not a feature of standard poplar in game. But he puts scripts in to have regrowable poplar so that you cut it and then it comes back. We're going to do some poplar work just to demonstrate the consistent regrowth of that. And then we're going to probably put at least one field of sugarcane in. Maybe we'll take the sugarcane from the first harvest and put it towards planting of a second field. And of course, sugarcane we can harvest 3 times before we need to replant it. So that is kind of a renewable crop. Not really, because you do need to eventually replant it. Right. Let's see, do we have enough room here to kind of take a bite out of the middle? Right. Up here. So PS. Let's just take a nice bite out of this field and work our way left and right. That's what we'll do. While this is running, let's take a little closer look at the harvester here. Not too bad. I was seeing that little shaker tray shake when we were going around the field. It's got really nice. I like the animation on the straw output, where it's the little windrow rakes are putting it into a nicer windrow. That's pretty cool. Let's turn our lights off. I had turned lights on when we were looking at the forecast. Not a super wide head, but then again, we don't need anything real big on the map. We don't really have a super big rush to get things planted and harvested. No real need for the giant harvesting equipment. And to some degree, we're kind of working on a budget and everything. Take a look inside here. Pretty basic controls. Really good details. We'll just kind of go for the ride. Alright, well, it looks like we're going to be able to get about 3 harvester loads in our trailer here before we're going to need to unload it. It's not fairly bad harvesting. I was worried that it would fairly slow, but it seems to be going well. fairly easy going. I think we're going to get, if that is one load, 1, 2.5 passes up and down, and then the round. We're probably going to get 4, maybe 5 trailer loads out of this field. Should be fairly good. Alright. Let's take this on over to the cow farm and put it in a silo. I gotta be careful. I haven't done it on this map, but I will admit that on Valley Old Farm, where we're doing a multiplayer economy-based game, I've got the Fent 900, and I've got a different trailer than this, but well, I'll admit, when I wasn't streaming, I managed to roll a full tipper full of corn. Well, it was almost full. It's coming around the field to empty the harvester, and I guess I took the turn a little bit too quick and a little bit too sharp, and next thing I know, both tractor and trailer are on the roof. Well, it was rather interesting getting those flipped back over, because the only other thing I have on that map that is powered is the harvester. I actually brought the harvester over with the row crop header, the corn header. I got it up underneath the tractor and was able to push it over. Then I had to go get the front loader arms and the bag lifter, the Abbott bag lifter, and I was able to get it kind of under the side of the trailer, wedged, and then kind of get it lifted up and push it over. So it wasn't a big disaster, but it was a little bit of an ordeal. Did lose some harvest time that particular day. Here you can see field 4, nicely cultivated. Just waiting fertilizer, I think, and awaiting seed. Check our pallets over here too. They may need to be unloaded. I think it's really cool that these tractors have working fuel gauges in them. Looking down there, and I'm seeing the fuel gauge is kind of low. And noticing that we do have just 82 liters of fuel left in this particular tractor. I'm not going to be crazy and try to back this up by the mirrors. To our silo. First grain in the silo. While we're over here, let's go check on our pallets. They should be close to needing to be unloaded. Pretty good to maintain decent productivity out of these things. Looks like they are full. Okay. Let's go ahead. I think I left forks over here and arms. Let's see if we can't figure out where those are. The arms, that must mean the forks are fairly close by. Yep, I see them right there in front. The bale forks. I think those are bale forks, but we'll use them. Our grabs, and now we're going to need to put our weight on the back. I'm sure these pallets are awful heavy. Alright, let's see if we can't get these pallets moved off and put away. Again, it takes a day to produce these things. We don't want too much idle time. We want to keep them fairly productive. I guess later this evening we'll have to see about taking these loads down to the down across over to the sell point, simply because we've got a full load now. We've got 2 days worth of pallets here. I want to unload these. I want to get them too high. If we get our pallets too high in the air, we'll get a unsteady load. There's our telehandler forks. Got our those are strawberries. Here's tomatoes. Tell you, the way these are put in here, you gotta be kind of careful with moving around, or you're gonna run into your other greenhouses. It's these two over here are a bit of a challenge to get the manure into, simply because of their close proximity to the hedges. So we got our tomatoes. Let's get our mushrooms. Mushrooms. Off of here. And the last load is the cabbage. steady income. These steady income is really good for seasons play because there's so much time where there is no harvest income. This BGA extension mod is really handy because of its steady revenue stream, as would be these greenhouses. Very steady revenue stream. These as well. If you've got some cows, then the dairy could be fairly good. I did check after I got done recording the other episode about the great demand for cheese. We only had one full pallet of cheese at that point, so we really didn't have anything worth taking advantage of that great demand on. Right. Already got some production going on these. We'll put our pallets back, or our forks back, and I know why we have our bale forks over here, because of unloading the unloading bales out of storage and putting them in the mixer wagon and everything. Oh, I want to mention something that I'm pretty sure I didn't realize when I did the map video for this, and I just figured out the other day when I was down here working. That is that in here, we'll just go through the door here. In here, the toolbox is an actual customization point and repair point. But we could bring our tractor in here and do some customizing or do some repairing if needed. In fact, we had care wheels on this particular tractor when we were doing our potato harvest, and I used that particular point there to switch back to our regular wheels. I'm going to point that out. I thought there was probably going to be a repair point down here, but there wasn't a hotspot icon for it. And the reason, I don't know why the reason was there wasn't a hotspot icon, but that indeed was a repair point. Kind of sneaky, hiding it away like that. Alright. We're going to head on back and get back to the harvest. So I want to thank you guys for watching today. If you liked the video, please click the like button. If you don't like it, oh well, that's fine. If you're not a subscriber, please go ahead and hit subscribe. We're doing Let's Play videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on Rathlin Island for the next foreseeable future. We'll be playing this map for at least 2 years. We're toward the end of our first year. If you remember, we started this map in the middle of winter. So when we get mid-winter this year, we will have gone through an entire year of Rathlin. And we'll be starting up at some point, maybe even running concurrent with our Rathlin series. We're going to start up Emerald Coast, 12-day seasons, 10 years of gameplay. That ought to be an interesting and very long-term endeavor. That one will be. If we have decent maps, we'll have map videos that'll be out on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Go check those out if you haven't already. I think we are well over 140. We're probably over 150 map videos at this point. And with FS17 coming soon, it's hard to say how many more maps are going to be released for 17 here towards the waning months of FS17. I guess there are two schools of thought. There's the folks that are wanting to rush a map out to have it ready and have it playable for FS17, and then there's folks that may have given up on getting it out for 17, or figured that by the time they do get it out, 19 will be on its shirt tails, so to speak. That they're just going to you know, maybe shoot for an early FS19 release after they try to figure out how much might need to be, you know, updated to comply with FS19 standards. Just have to see how things go. Over the last little bit, we've kind of had a waning of. Yep, kind of had a waning of maps as of late, but I'm thinking that's more of a short-term than a long-term thing with reset back to FS17 maps still. So, until next time, happy farming.